Welcome everybody to Chef in the Garden. My name's Tracy Dempsey.
And I am the head baker at Tracy Dempsey Originals in Tempe.
Today I'm going to share with you a recipe for a roasted beet and watermelon salad, finished with a little bit of feta cheese and fresh mint. Beets are super cute. They have a little tail. They have a little head of nice leafy greens that you can actually eat. The beet is a member of the amaranth family. It's also a member of the taproot family. It's always, to me, the smell of earth, because you think about it, it's growing with dirt about here. So it has this beautiful earthy taste, a beautiful earthy smell. So I'm going to cut off its little rat tail. And something that's really fun for a fun art project is to stamp paper with the end of your beet. How pretty is that? You could do a little craft. And then you could eat dinner. When we cut off our greens from our beet, always use knives with adults around you. Make sure you're using a sharp knife. Be very careful. Follow the rules of the kitchen when you have a knife. Let people know if you're walking around it that you have a knife. And I want to show you something very beautiful about beets. Can you see all of the concentric circles? It's almost like if you think about a tree ring. It's the beet ring. I rinsed it beforehand, and what I want to do now is I'm going to roast it. I'm going to pour just a little bit of my olive oil into the center of my aluminum foil. It's very important to use some aluminum foil because you're going to wrap your beet in it. It's going to help steam it. It's also going to hold all the juices in there. And I'm going to rub my beet with the olive oil all over. Get your hands dirty. We're going to wrap up that beet real nice and tight. Put it on a little sheet pan, or you can put it in an oven-proof dish. And we'll pop it into that 400-degree oven that's been preheated. We're going to let it go for about 45 minutes, 55. It could even take an hour. It just really depends on the size of your beet. But what you'll do is use a little skewer, and if it goes in easily, the beet is finished. It's nice and tender. Pull it out. Let it cool for a good, I like to let it go for about 20 minutes. They get pretty hot, and they smell really good. They smell, it's almost like you can smell fresh earth with a little bit of sweet on it. But they do make your kitchen smell delicious. You see how different it looks now compared to that beet I just put in the oven? You can see the skin is peeling right off. Your hands will stay red for a while. And that's that compound. The color in beets comes from betanin. And that color, you can see, is very vibrant. And it also is very challenging for our bodies to break it down after we consume it. So when you eat beets, you really need to remember, I ate beets, and my pee and my poop might look like a beet. So don't panic. That's just because our bodies can't break down that compound. But it's perfectly natural and nothing to be worried about. And I'm going to make some slices, about ½ inch thick. With each of these now I'm going to make sticks. We call them bâtonnets. And I'm going to make cubes. So now you see I have these nice chunks, these nice cubes of beets. Moving on, now I'm going to work on my watermelon. What I want to do is cut off the end. That way I have something flat to work with. So I'm going to trim the rind off of the watermelon. We're going to cut slices. We'll go back and we'll make cubes. I always associate watermelon with my childhood. And I remember going out and we'd pick one and then sit on the front steps of my grandparents' porch and just take in that delicious cold watermelon. And we have our cubes of beets. Look how pretty those are together. Now I'm going to combine them. I'm going to combine it very gently. Okay, and to that we're going to add our other ingredient, which is feta cheese. Nice, super salty. Going to transfer some of our salad. And our other ingredients that we're going to use today, we have some fresh mint from the garden. I'm going to do a little bit of crunchy sea salt. Just about a tablespoon of the olive oil. And then our honey. Which is going to bring in a little more sweetness.
Hi, I want to talk to you a little bit about the beets we're using in today's recipe and give you some guidance on how to plant these things. They're pretty easy. Beets come from the root family of vegetables. So we've got radishes, you probably have carrots, you've had onions. These are root plants, and so we're going to enjoy the vegetables out of the root plant, the root family. I've got some root seeds here that I'm going to show you how to plant, and they're not too difficult at all. These are pretty simple to do. When you plant these, you got to keep in mind that the beet's going to get big. So you need to think about just giving it a little bit of space wherever you plant it so that it's got room to grow. We'll put one of them in right now. I'm only going to put it in about 1/2 inch. These don't go in very deep at all. So I'm just scratching a little hole here. I'm going to put the seed down there, and there it is. I'll just give it water, regular water, and it should pop up into a nice plant. So I just put this one here, so I can plant another beet, probably about 6 inches, maybe 8 inches away. Remember, it's going to expand out, and it's going to get big, so you got to leave room for the other beets. So I'll put another one over here. I don't have to put it down very deep at all, just kind of push it in the ground. This doesn't take too much work. And one thing I was going to tell you is sometimes people get all stuck in putting everything in straight rows. You don't need to do that. You can use your whole space that you've got, whatever you've got. If you're going to put it in a pot, mix them up in there. You don't have to make straight rows. Take advantage of the soil space you have and use it. Anyway, it's good beet time. So enjoy planting the beets and keep the beet.
There we go. It's just a really simple summertime salad of roasted beets, our main ingredient, and some fresh watermelon, a little feta cheese, salt, pepper.
So enjoy. Bon appetit.